Hello everyone, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library. Welcome to December's Bake-A-Tale. Bake-A-Tale is a program where we talk about a recipe and some books and some crafts you can do while you're waiting for your baking to be done. And this week, since it's the holidays, I thought I would just go with traditional Christmas cookies this time. These are Wreath Sugar Cookies, and they're actually a little bit of lemony too, so if you like lemon, you can make them lemon wreath cookies. If you don't like lemon, you can leave it out and just make them plain wreath cookies. The kit for this month will be available in the children's room. You can come and pick them up, and it'll have the recipe, and it'll have the books that I'm going to tell you about, and it'll have materials to make the crafts for this month. The crafts for this month are here. It's a little bird clip. So you could put it on a tree if you wanted, or you could just clip it to a card, clip it to whatever you would like. Hold up your recipe with it if you'd like. And we will do cards that could be a gingerbread person, a snow person, whatever you want. You can make it into a card and write something, or you could just use it as a decoration. Give it to a friend that way. Plus, one of the books will talk about snowflakes. So there'll be some instructions in the kit, and I will tell you about making snowflakes. You can make them on traditional white paper, or if you want to get super fancy, you can make them on origami paper. And the origami paper we have is double-sided. So if you hang this in a window, it'll look different from inside or the outside. So all of that will be in the kit, so you can just come down to the children's room and pick it up, or you can call us, and we'd be happy to reserve some for you, and you can come and pick them up through curbside service. But the books this month are Bear's Winter Party, which was written by Deborah Hodge, and the illustrations are by Lisa Sinar. Goodness. This story is called Ho Ho Homework. Class as a substitute teacher, and some of the students think he looks a little bit familiar. Ho Ho Homework was written by Melissa Larson, and the illustrations are by Taya Morley. And the last book is Christmas Time by Allison J. So in Bear's Winter Party, Bear is a little bit lonely. All the other animals are a little bit scared of you if you're very big and you have sharp teeth and you have claws, but Bear's really very gentle and he just wants to be friends. But sometimes the other animals will run away before he can even talk to them. So he gets the idea that he can have a party and invite all his neighbors, and you have cookies. People usually enjoy those at a party. So this actually has a different recipe in it, not the recipe we're making today, but if you check this book out from the library, you can make Bear's cookies too. Yeah, again, so Jack has a substitute teacher, and some of the students think Mr. Clausen here just seems a little familiar. When he laughs, he says, ho, ho, ho. And he teaches them to do the Jingle Bell Shuffle. He's very fond of lists. Jack's not really sure. But then Mr. Clausen has everybody make snowflake wishes. Make paper snowflakes and then write wishes on them. And it's their homework, so they have to do it. And after Jack makes his snowflake wish, he's not so sure if he does or doesn't know who this is. So if you check this book out from the library, you can read it and you can decide, is Mr. Clausen just a substitute teacher, or is he maybe something more? And in this book, it's really a simple book. There's not a lot of words in it. It's all good things that you might have at Christmas time. So on Christmas Eve, you might be being very quiet. You might have a plate of cookies going. Oh, maybe there's some mistletoe in your house. Mittens, a candle. If you're going to go outside, you definitely need and it's snowy like this, you'll definitely need your mittens and your hats and your scarf. Oh, some holiday cards, and again, cookies. just in case somebody's coming who might need them. But the other thing about this book, it looks simple, but at the end there is a list of different Christmas carols. And so it's kind of a seek and find book too, because you can see if in these pictures, you can see any other little pictures that might remind you of a Christmas carol that you might know. So when you check this book out, there's a lot to look at in all the beautiful illustrations. So you can come to the library and check this out. You can read them while you're making your holiday wreath cookies. Now, these cookies, they're pretty simple. The dough's easy to work with. You just mix it up. It's got a little cream cheese in it, so that makes it have a nice texture. You need to refrigerate the dough a little bit, and then you just roll it out. I find it's easiest to roll cookies out if you put the dough between two pieces of parchment paper, or you could even use 2 pieces of plastic wrap. Makes it a little bit easier. You can kind of flatten it out nicely. If you have a round cookie cutter like this, you can make them wreaths and you can poke out the middle, and then it'll really look like a wreath. When you make the glaze, it calls for powdered sugar and lemon juice. So if you don't like lemon, you can just leave the lemon juice out and use milk or water. And you might need a little bit of milk or water to get it right, because sometimes it's a little tricky to get the consistency right. You want it to be able to spread really well, and it's a glaze, so it's kind of runny. If you want to make it thick enough to use it as icing, you can do that. But if you start out with some powdered sugar and some lemon juice, you can taste it. If you think it's a little too lemony, you can add some more powdered sugar. If it seems too runny, you can add a little more powdered sugar. If it seems like it's too thick, you can add a little bit of water or milk if you're not using the lemon juice. So you just play around with it a little bit. It says in the recipe you can spoon it on, but I actually did mine by having the bowl of glaze, and then I dipped my cookies in and then sort of let the extra drip off. And then when the glaze is still wet, that's the time you can put lots of yummy sprinkles on and decorate it however you would like. And maybe you'd have a plate of cookies to share with somebody special too. Just like the baking requires you to bake with a grown-up, you do need the oven for this recipe to make the cookies, because you have to bake the cookies in the oven, but it's more fun to bake together. You might need a little help with the crafts too, because some of it's a little bit tricky when you're making paper snowflakes. Sometimes it's a little hard to do the cutting, so it's more fun to craft together also. But in this book, the Ho Ho homework book, there are instructions on how to make paper snowflakes. You will need to start with a paper square. You could, if you would like, start with origami paper because it's already a square. If you have used the rectangular white paper in the kit, you'll need to cut it so it's a square. So if you use a bigger square, it will make a bigger snowflake like this. So this is, I believe this started with an 8.5-inch square from the 8.5 by 11 paper. If you start with a smaller square, when I use the other 2.5 that's left, it's going to be a little tricky to cut, but it does make cute little tiny snowflakes like that. So it's up to you how you would like to do it. The origami paper will make the snowflake kind of in the middle. But when you have your square of paper, the first thing you will do is fold it into a triangle. And then you will fold that part into a triangle again. And then this is the part that's a little bit tricky. You have to sort of fold it in thirds. In the instructions, it'll say you can lightly draw a pencil line, divide the bottom. Measure this out and divide it into 3 parts, and then put a little pencil line there so you know where to fold. Every single time I've done this, I usually have to fold it a couple of times to get it right. What you want to do is have it fits so you've got the point at the top. And the paper is just going to be even. You don't want one side to be leaning too far over the other side. You want it to make a triangle like this, and you want the point to be even at the top. So it always takes me a couple of times to try it. So I have to just refold it to make sure I'm getting it right so it's divided into thirds. And then you just cut off the bottom part and then start cutting. In the book, it says if you want to write a wish on it, then you don't want to cut out the center because that's where you could write your wish. So if you'd like to make snowflake wishes, you can do that. Otherwise, you can cut anywhere along here. You don't want to cut all the way through this folded edge because then your snowflake will fall apart. But, you know, just cut and see what happens. That's the fun part about these paper snowflakes. Just like no real snowflakes are alike, paper snowflakes can be different every time too. And whatever you do is going to make it look pretty nice. So have fun making paper snowflakes. You can hang them up and you can, like I said, if you put these in a window, it's going to look nice from both sides. And so will the white ones, of course. And if you have the white ones, you can decorate those more too if you would like. Now for this little clip, there will be a clip in your kit, and there will be a paper on cardstock. You can make 3 birds from this if you cut out these parts. If you cut out the template itself, it'll make it a little bit sturdier on here, because then you can put the origami paper on top. If you use the origami paper without the cardstock underneath, it'll be a little bit flimsy, but you can do that if you'd like. Once you cut this out, you can cut the cardstock, or I'm sorry, the origami paper out. Put the outline on the origami paper, draw around it, and then glue the origami paper onto the cardstock. There'll be different kinds of origami paper in your kit. So if you would like, you can make the body out of one paper, the belly of the bird out of another, and the wing out of a third. Or you can make it all the same. Up to you. It's your bird. You can make it however you would like. If you would like to color on the clothespin, you can do that too. You will need to use the button that's in the kit. There'll be a little button in the kit, and you'll want to put that on the bird because that way you can push the button when you're opening the clip, and it'll give it something more. It'll be a little bit more sturdy that way. This one, I don't know if you can see, but it has a little string on it that was strung through the button. If you'd like to do that, we'll put this little string in your kit too. And there will also be a piece of double-sided tape. It'll be wrapped around a playing card. So if you see the playing card and think, what is this? It should have some double-sided tape so it's sticky on both sides. And you can use that to attach the button to the front, and then to attach the clothespin in the back. So I put the sticky tape, double sticky tape on the clothespin, held it on to the bird, and then I put another piece of tape, regular tape, on top of it. The bird craft comes from this book, Now I Can Paper Craft by Tansy Wilson, and the instructions will be in your kit. The cards, these ones, that is from this book called Easy Paper Projects by Maggie Woodley. And that you can make, it says the instructions actually tell you how to make a Santa. So if you'd like to decorate this as a Santa, you can. If you'd like to keep the white cardstock as a snow friend, you can do that. There'll be some white cardstock and some brown cardstock. So you can use this one to decorate, to make a Santa. You can use it to make a gingerbread person. So there will be a template for this too. And you can cut this out, and then you will need to put it on your cardstock, the brown or the white one. You can use the template for both. When you do this, you will fold the cardstock in half, and that's how it's going to be a card. The very important part when you do this is to make sure that this gingerbread person starts at the folded part, because that's what makes it like a card. See how it's stuck together right there? If you don't use it on the fold, then you'll have two gingerbread people, and you can always tape them together. But if you would like it to stay together by itself, put the template down on the folded part on this side. So if you have any extra space, make sure it's on the open side here. Trace this, cut it out, and then you can decorate. You can use some more origami paper. We'll put a couple little foam pieces in. You can decorate that way. You can decorate it however you would like and use them as a decoration or give them to a friend. So thank you very much for watching today. Thank you for coming to the library to get the kits. If you're not able to come to the library and you would like the instructions or the recipes, you can always email us at kids@adamslib.org, and I'd be happy to send out the recipe and I can email you the recipe and the instructions. But otherwise, if you can come in and get the kit, please come down to the children's room. Hope you will enjoy these crafts. I hope you will enjoy these cookies, and I hope everybody has a happy Christmas and happy holiday season. And we're back next month for another Bake a Tale. Thank you, everybody. Bye.